Hey out there, good morning. It's Friday, TGIF. Thank God I'm free. Thank God we're free, right? I'm gonna take you guys on a tour of a house, a two-family house in Keansburg. Caught my eye for a couple different reasons. I have that house in Keansburg. I'm waiting for the CO. The building department manager came and took a walk through the house yesterday, and I'm thinking I'm going to be able to get the CO today or early next week. Cross your fingers. I got that family dying to get in there. But this house caught my eye because it came onto the market, and sometimes foreclosure or a bank-owned property will come onto the market, and it's only open to offers from people that are going to live in the house, owner-occupants. And that's what this case is. And I have a friend who is going to be watching this video, you know who you are, that mentioned that he wants a multi-unit place that he wants to move into. And it's a great idea because for those of you not familiar, a regular standard conventional Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA loan that you would get for any residential property, they allow you to go up to 4 units. So if you want, which if I had to do it all over again, this is the path that I would go. I would go in and get a multi-unit place for my first house. I would use the other units' income, the rent that comes in order to help offset the mortgage. It's a great idea. You have to live in the house for at least a year, and then after that, you can look for something else. So in this particular case, I'll run numbers at the end of this video to see if this two-family makes sense for my friend. But if you go to move out, let's say you don't want to live in a house forever, so you live there for 2 years. Then you go to move out, you buy a single family that you really want to get into someplace else. So the first house was like a starter house or something. Now you just rent out the unit that you were living in and hold that property. You have premium financing on it as an owner-occupant, and now you have rent coming in. And the cash flow in that kind of a situation is much higher than if you're an investor like me going in and having higher interest rates and all that kind of stuff. So this could be a really good deal. So let's go take a look at the inside and the outside of this house, because as a realtor, I get to get on the inside. So I just got the code to the lockbox. I feel like a voyeur. It's vacant, so let's go see what it looks like. This is the exterior. I'll show you the surrounding houses. There's the neighbor, there's the neighbor. Some houses around here have been raised, not all of them. That house has. Right across the street is a small apartment complex, and the bay is on the other side. So let's go take a look on the inside of this house. All right, so this is the first floor. Come into what was once probably a porch, a little porch. Initially, not that bad, right? Especially for the houses that I bought in the past. A little damage on the ceiling there. See what's going on there. I think this is 3 bedrooms down here. A little more ceiling damage up here, so there's probably a leak. So they put a little hole in there to get the pressure off the ceiling, so the whole ceiling didn't fall down. These hardwood floors initially don't really look that bad. However, they're cupped, and I don't know if you can bring these back. Probably some new flooring down here. I'm guessing that this was probably the kid's bedroom. Nice sized bedroom. Like, initially when I walk in, it doesn't look that bad. Baseboard heat. Some tile work over here. Nice sized kitchen, right? I know I always sound a little more enthusiastic than people that probably look at houses like, whoa, what are you talking about? That's nasty. But I'm used to looking at houses that need a complete rehab. So here's another bedroom. Nice. I'm wondering how you get up to the second floor. Probably have to go outside, and then you might have to do a little ceiling work up here. So there must have been a leak upstairs, and then it came through, and they want to relieve the pressure, like I said. This is the bathroom. I don't think the electricity's not on. So yes, a little bit more plumbing issues. So this is a bathroom over here. So it's used, the bathroom. It's nice. So you definitely have to either replace or, do something with that floor. This is the 3rd bedroom. Come out towards the back. A little funky smell, like I don't know, a little mixture of cat urine and moisture. Now, this is that. I think it's solid. So this must have been a porch many years ago, and they and close this. This would be the laundry room over here. Overall, I gotta tell you, this is pretty appealing, huh? Let's see if we can get upstairs. This is the backyard. Backyard is small. I'd have to check the property line just to see, but I would imagine this is the extent of the backyard. I mean, not bad. This might be included in this property. I'd have to see, which would be really nice to put a driveway over here so people could park off the street. And I'm going up to the second floor. Let's see if I can get in up there. All right, so score. I was able to get into the second floor. So again, this must have been a porch. They enclosed it, added some extra square feet. Ceiling's kind of low. It's, let's say it's 7 feet. Still okay. Unless you're 7 feet tall, right? I'm guessing that window was blown out at one time. Now listen, I hope nobody's living here because I'm coming in. I got all tile up here. Don't know if I'm loving that tile. Some storage over here, possibly washer dryer hookup. Come down the hallway. I think this is another 3 bedrooms up here. Again, a nice sized bathroom. I mean, they paid attention to the size of the bathrooms for these places. Not in as good a shape as downstairs, or I guess it's the same. Somebody like mirrors over there. So this is one of the bedrooms with a huge, I guess, walk-in closet with the doors missing. Come over here, a nice size eat-in kitchen. So it really is a 2-unit. We'll talk more about that in a minute though. Another bedroom. This would be, I imagine they were using this as another bedroom. So this would be the 3rd bedroom. However, depending on who was moving in here, this could be living room, dining room, or you could just use this as an eating kitchen, but you really wouldn't need a living room, so you know what I mean. I almost missed the boiler and the water heater, but I didn't really miss the water heater because the water heater's not here. Anyway, so you absolutely need a new water heater. Not sure what condition that boiler's in. And I already left the second floor, but I would imagine and take into consideration another boiler and water heater upstairs, and a water heater, and possibly saving this one downstairs, possibly. So what do you think of the house? Whenever I go into a house, now I'm not like everybody else that goes in and wants to live in a house. They go in and they're like, oh no, I don't like that, I don't like that. Whenever I go into a house, as far as an investment, initially, I want to buy every one. But then I run numbers and I'm like, I don't think that one makes sense. 99% of the time, but that 1% of the time, for me as an investor, it does make sense. In this case, I'm looking at it from a different point of view. It's going to be for an owner-occupant, somebody that's going to be living in the house. So in this particular case, I'm using an FHA 203K loan, which I think is the best loan out there. This type of loan, the 203K, is a regular FHA loan, so you get premium financing. When I say premium, I mean conventional. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, and VA would be considered, in my opinion, premium financing. And then you get other kind of financing. Like when I go to buy a property, I'll use hard money loans, which have a lot higher interest rates and a lot of other little things in their costs. And then when I refinance investment properties, I can't use any of these loans. So it's kind of exciting to look at it from this angle. The FHA 203K loan allows for a minimum down payment of 3.5%, which is great. 3.5% to buy a piece of property, that's great. You get the premium interest rates. And also, this is like a little special from the 203K. They allow you to finance the rehab costs. There's 2 different FHA 203K loan programs. One of them is called the Streamline. And a Streamline allows you to fix up cosmetic problems in the house, and the maximum budget that you can have for fix-ups is $35,000. That's not what I'm using on this one. I'm looking over at the whiteboard now. I put down an estimate of $60,000. I showed you guys the walkthrough. $60,000 would represent a modest rehab. Not that much, not that little. It would be beautiful in the end, but we're not talking about high-end appliances or high-end fixtures or anything. It'd be real modest. It'd be really nice to live in. Let me show you the numbers. If it looks kind of dark in the office, it's because when I put the overhead light on, then you can't see anything on the whiteboard. So here's what I came up with. That property's on the market for $339,900, so I'll just use $340 for simplicity. And I'll put a $60,000 rehab in there. Again, this is just a guesstimate, but I think $60,000, you can really turn that property into something livable and beautiful. We're going to be using the FHA 203K loan, 3.5% down. That's what your loan amount's going to look like if you followed this, $386,000. I'm not taking closing costs and escrows into consideration with this. If you want to know more, you could ask me. But you'd have a loan amount of $386,000. Now over here, I'm running the total payments. You would have $2,072 principal and interest for your loan. You'd have about $710 in taxes, $100 for homeowner's insurance, $250. I'm estimating $250. It could be less than that, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to say $250. That's $3,000 a year. Sounds like it's a pretty good estimate. And then I also put $250 in there for mortgage insurance. If you get an FHA loan at 3.5%, I think $250 is pretty accurate. I might be a little low, a little high, I'm not sure. You're all in on a monthly payment of $3,382. But Harry, I do not want a mortgage payment of almost $3,400. What are you talking about? But wait, let me show you. It gets a little better. Now don't forget, that's 2 units. The downstairs has 3 bedrooms in it. I really think you can get at least $2,500 for rent on that 3-bedroom. So your $3,382 minus $2,500, you're talking about less than $900 a month out of your pocket. Now, I've made videos before using a whiteboard, and my brother-in-law, Ken, has said, I don't think he said they're not sexy, but they definitely were not sexy in his opinion. They were like too many numbers. So I'm not going to go into all the different numbers for you guys. If you want to know them, just ask me in the comments. But this represents, if you live in the top, the 2-bedroom, which is a nice size one, and you have to pay $900 is the amount of money that's coming out of your pocket towards the mortgage. I don't know where you can find a $900 2-bedroom unit. All right, listen, I have to dive into a couple of the numbers. I can't just leave it at that. But also, I gave you an idea of $340,000 purchase price with a $60,000 rehab, $400,000. You're all in on that. I think after the rehab, you'd already have another $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in equity. Whew, it's getting exciting now, right? How about this? How about Zillow and all these other places are estimating appreciation rates, double-digit appreciation rates? I'm not as optimistic. If we just use 3 to 5% appreciation rates over the next, even just 5 years, you could see at the end of just 2, 3, 4 years, you'd have over $100,000 in equity in this house. And you'd be paying $900 a month to live in a really nice 2-bedroom portion of a 2-unit. Does it make sense now? Heck yeah, it makes sense. All right, so I'm going to close on this. I'm going to say, you buy this house, you do it all this way, and you stay in the house for 2 years. During those 2 years, because you're maintaining your credit and everything else, and you're building equity in a house, then you're going to go out, you're going to get a home equity line of credit on top of the mortgage. Let's be a little optimistic and say interest rates come down. You might even want to refinance this house, get out of a 5% and get into a 3%, but we can't be guaranteed that the rates are going to come down. However, you'd have enough equity in this house to go out, get a home equity line of credit. Why is that important? Because if you want to move out of this house, you want to rent that 2-unit out that you've been living in, which I think even 2 bedrooms in Keansburg, I think you're going to still get $1,800, $1,900, maybe $2,000. You're going to take that as cash flow, so you probably have $1,000 a month right there. Take a home equity line of credit and use that for your down payment on your other house. Holy cow, it's like using one house to get another house. It's like a garden that you could just pluck off of. All right, I hope that wasn't too over the top, and I'm going to get a comment from my brother-in-law saying, that is definitely not a sexy video, Harry. So listen, like I said, it's Friday, TGIF. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I'll see you next week.